Good Monday morning, July 11th, I believe it is, 7-11 today. So, I gotta put some stuff in the cat box this morning. Oops, magnet down. So I put on the sticker, here's the sign. You know what? Sprayed all these kosher weeds out here a week ago with a real strong dose of 2,4-D. Guess what? Kosher here is resistant to 2,4-D now. It won't kill it. You got to use Roundup. So now I got to do it again. And they've already grown a foot. Okay, so I got a box of shirts going to Fred Jacobson, one of my homies over in Boise. Thank you, Fred. Got one going to Sarah Hoffman in New Lexington, Ohio. A couple shirts going to Tommy Phipps in West Liberty, Kansas. Killdozer going to Jason Wasson in Cloversville, New York, and one to Ashley Griggs in Patrick, South Carolina. And then I got a box leaving the country. This is going to Devin Wood in Prince George, up there in the Royalty. So Devin, yours is going UPS, and they said this should be to you in 3 days. I just got to go to town. I don't have any plastic shipper deals, so this has got to go on the box. So let me know if you get that in 3 days. One more thing, Devin. There's a whole bunch of extras in here for you. So if they nail you on some kind of tax, don't be too alarmed, because there's a whole bunch of free stuff in there for you. Love my out of the United States subscribers, so I always try to throw some extra in there. Okay, we're in Bingham County's pit. We're going to get some pit run today to haul to the cemetery. So I want you to pay close attention to that high wall and look at how much dirt is in the gravel that they're crushing and hauling. Oh, now hold on a minute. Looks like their actual pit run over here, they stripped it clear down to gravel. But they shove all that dirt through the crusher to make crushed material. Their scale and go clear around the building and try to get out of there around all those people. It's going to be fun. A fun haul. gophers where they put this road in, or they're gonna mess this road up. Some fears. So Matt's got the water truck going. He's gonna have to water every stinking load of this stuff because it's so dry. Okay, so we're gonna go past the county's D8N. So I made a video about this. It was the 4th video I ever did. So if you go click on my videos, go clear to the dead last one, and from that count up 4 videos. It's called Caterpillar D8N goes for an icy dip. And so what happened was they were working up along the Snake River, and the guy running it fell off the bank. They were trying to rip-wrap it, so it was straight up and down. The bank gave way, and he got it turned perpendicular, sorta. And so as it went in the water, it went dozer first instead of sideways. Otherwise, it would have went upside down and he'd been dead. So there's their tractor, that D8N right there. And he got the engine shut off before it went in the water. So it didn't ruin the engine, but the water was over the engine and up into the cab. And so they asked me to come up with my 9 to pull it out, and I said, hey, you're gonna need about 3 more. They didn't believe me till I tried it. So once a high track, the engine quits, the brakes are locked and you can't get them off unless you pull the axles or you get a hydraulic service group, and I think you can release them through hydraulics. Anyway, it took another D8R and a 345 cat before we could get it up out of there and get it pushed. Once we got it up out, they pulled the axles, and then we pushed it on a low boy. But anyway, go check the video out. It's kind of funny, that tractor's still going. Makes me wonder about the history of my D9H as much as it got hammered and beat. Makes you wonder what kind of hell it went through. So I just had a 24-inch lava rock come out of my last load. I figured there was something wrong because the old belly dump went up sideways. Wheels went up on the windrow. $2.12. Okay, so I write down the time every time, so there's no discrepancies. So load number 1, 2, 3, 87, 560, 88, 40, 86, 420, 88, 200, 86, 700. My last one, the highest one, 89, 480. There's the rock that came out of the belly dump. I knew something was wrong when the old belly dump went up on her side. And I turned around, there was that rock there. Amazing it didn't tear a brake can off on the rear axle. Front axle's got a push plate to keep the gravel and stuff away from the cans and the slack adjusters, but the rear axle doesn't. So we avoided a catastrophe. Anyway, I bladed this back and forth, trying to get it straightened up, pull the stuff away from the edges. Matt and Jake are coming at daylight tomorrow to start setting some grades so we know where we're at. And then, I don't know, maybe I'll sleep in. I'm tired. It's like, I don't know what it is. It's probably about 8 o'clock. So, I've had enough for one day. Good night. Okay, I got my first cat dealer decals on the door. I got one from Foley Equipment and one from Empire Machinery. The Foley one came from Blaine and Katie Kessie. They are in Atchison, Kansas, and Katie's dad works for Foley. Anyway, thank you for those stickers. And then Blaine, he's the one that's always sending me these work lights. Says you can never have too many of them. Anyway, they're awesome. Love them. Thank you very much. And then the Empire sticker came from Tim Nemo. And he also sent me a cool cat hat. That's awesome. Empire Machinery hat. That's a nice hat. Thank you very much for that, Tim. Oh, got a license plate. What should I put that on? I gotta find something to put that on. Oh, and then this. Sent me a bib. I'll put that around my neck so I slobber. And then there's one more. Oh, there was one more decal he sent me. Arizona, California, Empire. You probably can't see that. That's white. 1960, Empire Southwest. 1950. Wow, they've been around for a while. So anyway, the Empire one shows up against the yellow door really well. So I want to thank you for the stickers, man. Send me some more. Okay, day 2. All gravel. $89,120. And the Chevys. Oh, I wish you could smell that smell. Holy moly. That's awful. Nothing worse than garbage smell. Okay, and there we go. Made one loop. Let's go do it about 10 or 15 more times. So I got done hauling gravel with the belly dump this morning. I took it back over to the yard. I hauled all the gravel in for these narrow roads with the belly dump, but we got some places that we need a little more, and I broke the water truck, so there ain't much we can do till Matt gets back with some hoses. So Jake's just putting some icing on the cake through some spots we know we gotta have some more with Petey. So these little roads that come through here. There's 1, 2, 3 narrow ones. They're only 12 feet wide, and then over here we got a 24, a 2-laner. But trying to blade a 12-foot wide road with a 10-foot wide grader and a 14-foot wide moldboard's a trick. So when we get ready to do the 3/4, we're scratching our heads how we're going to do this without making a mess. And then on this road the other day, when we started on it, they had the sprinklers running and it watered a huge section of it. I've bladed it up, but man, I was just pumping it really bad with the trucks when we came in. And it ain't gonna get any better until it sits a few days, so we gotta have them keep the water off of things here. But this is nice. I got shade on the job. I can go sit down. So I made a trip down one of those roads with the water truck, drove out on the road, come pulling back around in that other one where Jake's leaving, hit the pump button, and goosh, oil everywhere. Well, I'm in the penalty box again today. We're finally hauling 3/4 over to the cemetery to try to finish that. So the county has trucks that are 5-axle, 4-axle, but you'll never see those axles down. Since they don't scale anything, the loader operator has no idea what he's putting in those trucks. And he's loading my belly dump out 3 scoops with that 966 in the pit run. I was probably averaging, I wrote it down over here, but I was averaging about 90,000 gross on 5 axles. And with the 3/4, now I'm anywhere from 82, 85,000 each load. Anyway, I just find it interesting that they have these trucks with all these axles, but they're not putting them down. When we were doing the dirt work for the cemetery, they were driving by left and right going out Parks Road to do something, and not one of them had their drop axles down. And that's a big bed. I don't know how many loads he's putting in that. So the county's been hauling gravel, but they don't put down their lift axles because that saves on rubber and wear and tear. So really no sense of them obeying the weight laws because they're building the roads and ruining them at the same time. See, that way they can rebuild them later after they've ruined them. Now, if I tried that, I'd be in trouble. Okay, let's see what we weigh here. 540, 84,540. You know, I'm really surprised that the 3/4 isn't up over 90,000, because he really gets a big bucket full of it. The pit run's heavier than the crushed. That don't make no sense, Everett. So this is the Bingham County Transfer Station. You probably have one of these in your town. Not a Bingham County one, but a transfer station. Okay, another day hard at it. Wow, there's no driver in that truck. That's interesting. He just turned it on and let it run. Pretty big loader. Does a pretty good job. No steering wheel in it. Oh, a Monte Carlo. Ain't seen one of them in a long time. we're gonna have 60-mile-an-hour gusts, so I'll take the belly dump home, and then if this passes over, I'll come back and do some more grading. Hopefully it'll cool off. But it's a whiteout on our job, man. That old dry dirt's blowing. So I'm gonna rip this, to borrow a phrase from Warren's Repair. It's harder than the hubs of hell. You can't even cut it with the moldboard anymore on the grader. It's so hard. So let's see what she'll do. Woo, won't even hardly pull it. Holy moly, she's hard. We're glad I got all those shanks. This isn't hard right here, it's filled, but when we get up here, she's gonna be stiff. I can barely pull it right now with it all the way down. I don't think they could do this with a farm tractor. I think it just pop a wheelie. Making our way through it. I'll get her. Jeff's gonna win. Okay, good Sunday morning. So I thought I'd come over here and show you what all we did. So this right here is the 24-foot wide road coming in. As you can see, I've graded all the weeds off and cleaned it up again. They sprayed all the volunteer hay and the weeds. And as soon as they started dying, I just graded them all off. Anyway, this 3/4 is the Bingham counties, and like I was telling you, they push like 2 feet of dirt through the crusher. They call it binder, but it makes terrible 3/4. It doesn't take water. Now it packs up really good, but it's just full of dirt, so when it gets wet, it's gonna be goop. It's not good material. And they put it on gravel county roads, they put it on everything, and then if they got a road they're gonna pave, they put it under the pavement, and then the pavement goes to hell. Anyway, there's a side road here. Jake's still got to bring another load and spread in there to finish that. And then they opted to have us make a big area back here for parking. And then we've got, you got these little teeny roads here, and they're only 12 feet wide, and it was pretty tough to build these with a grader that's 10 wide and a moldboard that's 14 wide. But I got a pretty fair job done out of it. Looks like somebody's driven down here already. And then I went on the outsides and I brought some dirt up next to it to kind of try to hold it so that when they go ahead and plant grass and stuff, and they'll have to do some fine work. I'm sure whoever they've got coming in to do the sprinkler system and all that will hand rake that stuff out, or they have a smaller machine to do it with. It was, I mean, it's just damn near impossible with a 14G to do roads like that. But and then the boys will have to take and rake these frontage areas and these radiuses by hand. I couldn't finish them with the grader. I have left with the grader. I'll tell you why here in a minute. Well, you can see the fresh gopher holes out here. They still got a couple of gophers out here. They need to get poisoned or trapped. So before I left, I texted them and I asked them if they wanted me to rip this because it's hard. And I ended up having to leave. They texted back they do want it ripped. So I will come back and rip it. But I have a grader job I gotta go do up in the hills. And it's a camping job. I'm gonna have to drag the camper with me and stay up there for a few days to get it done. It's just too far to drive home every night. So these little roads would be, you know, if you had like a skid steer with a grader attachment or something on it, oh, that'd be ideal for doing these, but I didn't, so I did it with a 14G. Anyway, it turned out good. Once I get the grass and stuff on here and run these edges, you'll never know. You'll never see the wobbles and boings and all that stuff. Oh, and then I think the boys are going to get a roller and water all this and then roll it. Get it all beat down and packed. I think we've chased a lot of the gophers out of here because we spent so much time on here running, and then all the vegetation's dead and I've graded it, so there's not a lot here for a gopher. So you can see there's he's got a run there. So the big mound is probably where he lives, and then the small ones are his runs. There's one there. I got Mr. Griffey with me. I wish he could dig up gophers. He's not interested in them. Then there's one down here. Look at the size of this mound. I should have brought my poison. That's a pretty good size one there. So anyway, like I said, I was gonna load the grader up and leave early this morning, but I'm just tired. It's been super hot here and I want a day off. So Monday morning I'll head up there and do that. So anyway, you haven't seen a video from me for a while because I've been busy doing this and it's just been daylight to dark and hot. I don't know, when I come home I just ran out of gas. Sometimes that happens, so apologize for that. And the next video you'll see is the one up in the hills. I'll take the drone with me. Take lots of drone pictures. Anyway, you guys have a good weekend.